Hello guys and welcome to Painting Panzers. My name's Christian and today we're going to be taking a look at the new 28mm Winter British Infantry for the Wargame Bolt Action. Now these figures are for the Winter Brits and they come in a variety of different clothing as well as weapons and such. So without further ado, let's get into this video and let's take a look at the sprue that they sent me. Now this sprue comes with 6 bodies and a variety of heads. It also comes with a ton of different weapons. Majority of the weapons are actually rifles, which is nice to see because obviously the platoon will be made up mostly of riflemen, but they are also complemented by SMG. So we've got a Sten and a Thompson, as well as a sniper rifle, a couple of Bren guns, and then some pioneer equipment like a metal detector, as well as some wire cutters and a shovel. As I said, there's a variety of heads, so we've got berets and helmets, with some without helmet covers, some with, and a variety of different hands and options for carrying equipment. We've got more equipment, and they're definitely not short of heads. As I've said, there's even some chaps with a gas mask on, which is really cool. Now, if you'd like to pick these miniatures up, you can find them at the Warlord Games website, and don't forget I've got that affiliate link that you can also use, which would be amazing. Link in the video description. But yeah, you can find them on the Warlord Games website, and they're currently available for pre-order, and they are due out at the end of this month. So to start off with, I always give my model a primer of Tamiya Surface Primer Light Grey. It's just a rattle can, easy to apply, and then English uniform is what I'm going to be painting the parts of his uniform that you can see. So obviously not the jerkin, which is that like waistcoat looking thing that's over him. So we're going to be painting his trousers and the sleeves that we can see, as well as the collar that's coming over the top of that jerkin in English uniform, as well as the water bottle there, which is what we just saw. And then we're going to hit the jerkin with German camo medium brown. Now this particular coat can also be painted in like a mahogany brown or a saddle brown, any sort of brown that's similar to what you see here or the ones I mentioned. It obviously came in a few different colors. It is leather, so yeah, you can play around with a few different colors, and you can probably add different colors to your miniatures as well, just to give a bit of variety within your platoon. Now for the webbing, I'm going to be using US Olive Drab. Now the British had more khaki looking webbing, but then they added some Blanco, which is like a green powder, I think, and they could wet it down and they could actually tint and make their webbing look green. So we're going to be using that US Olive Drab to give those that green look to them. And as you can see, there's a lot on here that needs to do. So we've got the bag and we've got all of his webbing, his Bren pouches, etc., as well as his gaiters. Then for the rifle, we're going to be using flat earth. So this is my typical recipe for when I'm painting wood. Yeah, nothing's really changed at this stage. So I'm going to be painting the rifle in this color, as well as his entrenching tool, which is on his back, which we'll see in just a moment. There we go. So we're going to be painting the entrenching tool in that same color, but just leaving a little bit on the end for the metal part of the entrenching tool. Now for any metal part, I'm going to be using black grey. And these new winter sculpts have some really lovely rifles on them. I actually really enjoyed painting this rifle. It's probably one of the best rifles I've painted in 28mm. I think the detail is just absolutely superb on this particular rifle. So it's really a job well done. I'm going to be painting his boots in that same color too. Now for his head covering, I'm going to be using khaki. So it looks like, and I'm sure you guys can tell me in the comment section what the actual name of it would be, but it's almost like a balaclava. Just you can see more of his face, and I suppose you could do with a balaclava, but it goes around the whole of his face, around his ears and his head, at least anyway. I'm also going to be painting his gloves in khaki, as well as his rifle sling. And just to make it a bit more wintry in its feel, I'm going to be using Deck Tan. I'm going to be giving him a white helmet. So as he has got a helmet cover on him, so it's going to be a white helmet cover is what we're going for here. And then I'm going to be using Saddle Brown for his teacup. So as you can see, this Saddle Brown would also make a great colour for that jerkin. So it's up to you what colour you want to use, but Saddle Brown might make a good alternative color, like I said, to mix up with that platoon. Now for the wash, I'm going to be using Null Oil and Lathmere Medium from Warhammer. It's otherwise known as a technical medium at a 1:1 ratio. So if you're new to the channel, the reason I do this mixture is because it tones down that wash quite nicely. Black wash is always very sharp and can dry really, really dark. So you want to tone it down slightly if you can, using the thinners and the ratio that I'm using. And then when you apply it, it's going to go into the recesses and dry black, which is perfect. And then on the flat surface, it's going to be more of a light grey colour that it's going to dry on those flat surfaces, as you can see on the top of his helmet there. Right, with all of that done, I'm going to be painting my first layer, and I'm going to be using English uniform. I'm only going to focus on the sleeve here so you can really understand what I'm trying to achieve. So the first layer is pretty much painting the entire sleeve again, except leaving the original base colour that's been washed in the recesses. So you can see that I've left some of that dark colour in the folds of his arms there. And then I'm going to be using English uniform and German camo beige World War II at a 1:1 ratio. And now this is where we do a highlight, but I don't like using the term highlight. For me, it's more of a layer because I'm still very generous with it. A highlight, you literally be picking out those raised edges, whereas you can see with me, I'm actually scratching in a lot of the detail until I'm happy and it looks a little bit more natural. I find if you do just the highlight on the raised edges, it looks amazing for miniatures, but it doesn't feel right to me. But we've all got our different techniques and our tastes, so you do what works best for you. But the color combination should work great, regardless if you want to do layers or highlights. So German camo medium brown is what we're going to hit that jerkin with. And again, lots of detail on this particular plastic figure from Warlord Games. They tend to do some really great figures. Then German camo medium brown with orange brown at a 1:1 ratio is going to be our second layer. And you can see that I'm just scratching in again all those details and building up to that really bright colour that's going to give you that nice worn leather look, which is going to be ideal for this particular coat. Right, so the webbing, we're going again, same principle, we're going over the webbing in US olive drab, and you can see with these plastic figures, a lot of the details are very easy to paint and you're not going to miss out on them. Whereas metals, they can sort of be a little bit more challenging. The plastics are normally a lot easier to paint up. And once you've got that done, you can then go over it with that US olive drab and German camo beige World War II at a 1:1 ratio. And you can see, look how straight away, look how nice that colour looks when you make that mixture. And now this is where we start just picking out all the details, those nice little details. So the wood, I'm going over the wood in flat earth again. You can see again, the rifle is made up of different parts, and then you've got that metal bracket that clamps down on top of them. So yeah, just make sure you're taking your time, you're not going into the grooves and such and ruining all that great detail that's on the rifle. And then flat earth and orange brown at a 1:1 ratio, and you can see quite well actually that I'm not painting it as such, I'm just scratching in little lines. So just little scratches here and there. You can be rather generous, to be honest, but yeah, little scratches. Try and give it like a wood grainy effect without going too crazy. I know some people do some amazing grains, but we're not going to be doing that today. And then orange brown is what I'm going to use at the end, and this is what's really going to brighten it up. And we're going to be using the same method as what we've already done, so those little scratches to simulate those grains, but just reducing the amount that you're putting on there, because you don't want to cover the whole rifle in orange brown, otherwise it's going to look very, very bright and a little unrealistic. So the medal, we're going over it in black grey. You can see that I'm just picking out little bits of that magazine there, as well as the trigger. And then to give that a layer, I'm going to be using black grey and basalt grey at a 1:1 ratio. So I'm just building up to that like silvery colour that we're going to use as a highlight. And then finally, I'm using just basalt grey, and I'm just adding in a little line on each part of that magazine, just to show that there's parts of that magazine, a little line underneath the trigger. I'm just following those lines down to the bottom of that magazine as well. Alright, with that done, we can now focus on the khaki area. So khaki is what we're going to be going over. Again, this like headwear that he's wearing has some great detail on there, so it makes painting this very easy. And then you want to do the fingers and parts of the hand. So you can pretty much paint the whole hand again, just leaving that original base colour in the recesses, and same with the rifle sling. And then to highlight those, I'm using khaki and stone grey at a 1:1 ratio, and I'm just hitting towards the knuckles and just bringing it back a little bit towards the back of the hand, but not too much. And then I'll put a little line on the fingers, sort of connecting it with the knuckles there. A little line just to brighten them up, and then picking out all the details on this bit of headwear here. There's all these little like rectangles, scratching in some details around where it'd be coming down the side of his head and behind his head. And then moving on to that teacup, so I'm using saddle brown and just picking out detail. Again, the teacup's actually really well detailed. And then I thought I wanted to line it up a little bit, but in hindsight, I probably didn't need to do this, but saddle brown and German camo beige, where we'll do it at 1:1 ratio is what I used. In hindsight, I probably would have just kept it as saddle brown. I think it looks a little bit too light, but you know what, you live and you learn. Now for the helmet, I'm using deck tan, and you can see straight away I'm being very quick and very rough with it. Because it's got grooves and such, I'm not really being too pedantic with making sure, you know, the original base colours in the recesses, because I'm going to be using a white colour on top of this anyway, so I'm being very rough with it, and then I'm going over it with white grey just to give it that nice white cover this guy's going to be using. So when he's in his foxhole, hopefully the Germans won't be able to see the top of his head peeking over and seeing what's going on. But yeah, I really love the mixture of the white helmet and the jerkin and the English uniform all together. I think it makes for a really cool looking figure. Now there's only a little bit of skin that we need to paint. That's just on his face, so I'm using light flesh from AK Interactive. That's my go-to. Vallejo do are pretty much all exactly the same in terms of its alternative paint, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. But talking about Vallejo, I'm going to be using their flesh wash. I'm a huge fan of their flesh wash, and I'm just using a battered old pointy brush and just taking my time. Some people like to do the flesh first. I like to do it last. Don't ask me why. I don't know. It's just why I do it. And then we're going to go over all of those bits that we painted in light flesh. So leaving the original base color in the recesses, so around the nose, within the inner lip, around the lips, that sort of thing, and just joining them all together. And then I'm going to hit it with light flesh and highlight flesh at a 2:1 ratio. And I'm just going to focus on the nose, put a little bit underneath his eye socket, a little bit underneath the chin, or on the chin I should say, and then I'm going to hit light flesh and highlight flesh at a 1:1 ratio. So now it's like very, very light, and it's a tiny little line on the nose and the nostrils there, a little line underneath the eye socket, tiny little line on the chin, and then you might be looking at it going, oh, it's a little bit too white in its appearance. I mean, obviously it would be freezing, so his skin probably would be a little bit whiter than usual, but I'm going to give it a wash of flesh wash again, but not too much on the brush. And then this is how he should come out. I think he's actually come out really nicely, and yeah, looks very chilly. So overall, a fantastic figure again from Warlord Games. I've heard some mixed reviews from people and seen comments on the socials, but overall I think it's actually come out really nicely. It just needed a good lick of paint, from my perspective at least anyway, and it's definitely I think it's come out really nicely. I'm chuffed with it. So I would be very interested to know if you're one of those people that have seen them and you're not 100% sure on them. Has this changed your mind, or you're still in that same sort of camp? Let me know in the comment section. Massive thank you goes out to the team at Warlord Games for sending me these out, as well as my patrons and YouTube channel members. You guys are absolutely awesome, and I cannot forget my Panzer races. So that's Patrick, Oscar, Panzer Jim, James, Colin, Mikey, Mike, Like a Foresight Gaming, and Eric. You guys are all champions. Thank you so much for being those Panzer races. And if any of you would like to join their ranks, you can find all that information in the YouTube membership program as well as my Patreon. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it here. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments section, and until then, I will catch you at the next one.